So this is the modern media for you. The only problem with demonizing men is that it requires you to talk about men too much. And that's the Barbie movie for you too. Thousands of moms took their daughters to see this thing over the weekend. And, it is certainly a wonderful movie to show your daughter if you want your daughter to be a vapid, man-hating harpy. If that's your great dream for your daughter, then by all means, show them Greta Gerwig's Barbie. But this is not actually what most mothers want for their daughters. So for comparison's sake, contrast this with the general public reaction when a movie wears its feminist credentials on its sleeve. Take the upcoming Snow White remake, for example. We've already seen how they traded in Snow White for Snow Brown, casting a Hispanic woman in the title role. And for whatever reason, they decided that the most inclusive approach is to take casting opportunities away from actors with dwarfism by turning the 7 dwarves into regular-sized carnies. But they're also changing the whole arc and theme of the story to make it more feminist, as this interview with the stars revealed. Watch.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
It's not 1937 anymore, that's true. More's the pity. Now, we're not going to focus on the point that the taller woman there, Gal Gadot, is playing the evil queen, and the shorter one is playing Snow White. Now, remember that in the story, the queen is supposed to be jealous of Snow White's beauty. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? And the mirror is supposed to tell her that it's Snow White. So we're supposed to buy that, okay? We're supposed to buy that Gal Gadot is asked who's the fairest one of all. And it's not her, it's Rachel Zegler. This is a real problem. Kind of hard to pull off in this case, as the evil queen is significantly more attractive than Snow White. But putting that aside, the point is that the clip you just heard has been roundly mocked by nearly everyone. The movie is destined to be a worse flop than the woke Little Mermaid bastardization was. I mean, it's guaranteed to be a flop. Because nobody wants to see a fairy tale where the damsel in distress no longer needs saving, and the central romance has been replaced with a dreary sermon about self-empowerment. Nobody wants to see Snow White become a corporate middle manager and achieve true happiness by moving into a 2-bedroom condo with her cat. They want to see her get saved by the prince and fall in love. That's what people want to see. When you advertise ahead of time that your film is going to go the former route rather than the latter, going the feminist route rather than the classic route, nobody will see it. So feminism has to trick you. It has to smuggle itself in. It can't walk in the front door announcing its arrival, because people will scream and run out the back door, away from it. Well, I love anything made with top-of-the-line quality. For meat, that's Good Ranchers. The only thing missing is a pork box. Well, you asked for it, and they delivered. Good Ranchers has just launched their Prime Pork, 100% American pork that is steakhouse quality. This new pork box comes with bone-in and boneless pork chops, sausage, smoked brats, and more. Plus, right now, you'll get $30 off with my code Walsh at goodranchers.com. On their site, you can explore their all-American cuts of prime pork, prime beef, and better than organic chicken options as well. If you've tried their beef and chicken before, then you know how amazing it is. You have to try this Prime Pork at least once. Trust me, they've got genuinely great products and top-tier customer service. So what are you waiting for? Enjoy real meat and real service today with Good Ranchers. Visit goodranchers.com and use my code Walsh for $30 off any box. That's promo code Walsh at goodranchers.com. Goodranchers.com. American meat delivered. Buying a new car can be stressful. It's a stressful experience for anyone, especially if you're a first-time buyer or if you have no credit. Before you walk into a dealership and spend the entire day with the crowds, the stress, the potential that you might not even find what you're looking for, you need to check out CarZing. CarZing is completely changing the way you buy a car online. By partnering with credit agencies, lenders, and over 25,000 dealers nationwide, CarZing provides you with everything you need before stepping foot into a dealership. Once you find the right car at your ideal budget, all you have to do is bring your saved deal voucher with you to the dealership to finalize your next ride. It is so simple. Even if you're not in the market for a new car, you should check out CarZing anyway. CarZing's online window shopping experience goes beyond mere images. You can dive deep into each vehicle's specifications, features, and performance capabilities. Zoom in on the craftsmanship of the interior, marvel at the cutting-edge technology, and admire the meticulous attention to detail that sets these automobiles apart from all the rest. Carzing also helps make the experience faster, cheaper, and less stressful. Visit carzing.com/Walsh today. Find the best deals near you. That's carzing.com/Walsh. That's because, despite what Snow Brown claims, nearly all women innately desire a man to protect them and provide for them. That's what almost all women want. Women want to be swept off their feet by Prince Charming. That's why these stories have lived on for centuries and resonated with each new generation. The feminist fairy tale resonates with no one. It's a vision of what feminism wants women to do and what it wants women to think and what it wants women to want, but it will always ring false because it is false. Now, that's not to say that feminism hasn't won many disciples in the modern world. Obviously, it has. It has proven to be a devastating and lethal force, far deadlier than the bomb at the center of the other blockbuster this weekend. Feminism has killed 60 million babies, and that's just the beginning of the destruction that it has wrought on the world. But it wins adherents through brainwashing, intense and constant indoctrination, especially in public schools, and by playing on a woman's resentment and hatred and self-pity and desire to blame others for her problems. This can work in the culture. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work as a fairy tale because fairy tales are aspirational and fanciful and whimsical. Feminism, on the other hand, is base and vulgar and hateful. And it also doesn't work in marketing materials for a film based on a beloved children's toy. That's why they hid it away, tucked it under all the pink and plastic, and then came out with the man-hating sledgehammer when the audience was already sitting in the seats. So the only question is whether those mothers who took their daughters then, to see this film, did they then spend the whole ride home explaining why all that stuff in the movie was wrong? Better yet, as soon as they saw what was really happening, did they grab their daughter by the hand and leave the theater before the movie ended? Or were they too obtuse to notice the toxic feminist message even when it was delivered with a sledgehammer? Or were many of these mothers already man-hating feminists themselves, and so they didn't see any problem with it? I suspect a mix of all these options has played out this past weekend, but I hope there were plenty in the first category. And for any parents who hadn't yet taken their daughters to see this movie, but planned on going in the future, well, now you know better. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.